Hey gang, it's Mr. Pratt here with your week 6 intro video. Wanted to give you a breakdown of this week's activities, as well as applaud all of your hard work throughout last week and previous weeks in this course. I think you guys have been doing an awesome job, and keep up the good work as we get close to the end of the school year. It's hard to believe that we're at the last week of May here. So for this week, obviously yesterday was a holiday, and so May 26th, that's the start of our week's activities. And so there are 4 activities for you to complete this week. These activities will be due on June 1st at 7:59 a.m. As a reminder, for those of you that maybe are right on the line, take a look at your grades, because remember, you're needing a cumulative score of 85% or better in order to receive satisfactory in this class and receive credit for the class. So if you're right on the line, maybe you want to go back a few weeks and check and make sure that you completed the activities like you were supposed to. As we've talked about before, discussion posts, you need not only to post your initial response, but then you also need to reply at least once. And so take a look at those directions as you are completing those types of activities. So for this week, like I said, there are 4 activities. The first one is going to be an Edpuzzle. It is called The Miracle of the Hudson Plane Crash. And so maybe you've heard about this. This plane accident was actually created into a movie called Sully, if any of you have seen it. If you haven't, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. And so there's an Edpuzzle of more of a documentary of the actual crash. So I'm not showing you the Sully the movie. And so there are 2 questions at the end of the Edpuzzle, which really it's just more or less for you to give some feedback on the video, what you thought, and some kind of review of the actual accident. And so you're going to take a look at that video, and then after that we kind of look at other failures or things that have gone wrong in air transportation. And so interesting story that I learned a couple years back. I met someone that worked for GE, and he was an engineer who worked on the engines of the planes. And so his job was to create a cannon that shot frozen turkeys at engines. And I'm not making this up. That was his job. And the reason being was because of crashes or accidents like the Hudson River plane crash. And so, that's just one way we learn from our failures. We need to test these engines for multiple things like bird strikes. And so I want you to take this time in this week to look for a failure in air transportation throughout history. It could be present. It could be, years ago. It could be really long time ago. It doesn't matter. But the goal here is that you can kind of give us a summary of what happened, why it happened, and provide your resource. Where did you find this information? Maybe it was a video, maybe it was an article, but I do want to make sure that you provide your resources for this discussion. In addition to that, make sure that you are posting a response. Ask a question to one of your classmates. And so that'll definitely get us going for understanding where we've gone throughout history in air transportation and the technology and how it's evolved. And then the last 2 activities are going to be design challenges. We did a great job last week with our paper airplanes. This week we're going to do a little bit more with paper products, but I am going to try to challenge you a little bit more, I think. So one of them is going to be a parachute design challenge, where you need to create some type of parachute to have a weight attached to it. And the idea is that you can slow your object from falling to the point where it drops easily. It shouldn't hit the ground really hard. So the thing that I always say to use is a stack of quarters. That should be enough weight. About 4 quarters is enough weight to really provide that weight for a parachute. If you're having trouble with the weight, you can always decrease the amount of quarters, or you could use a different type of coin. But this is a pretty simple weight that you could use for your parachute challenge. And then what I want you to do is I want you to record your test. Provide us with a description of what you did to make your parachute. What resources did you use? And then how did it go? Did it meet your expectations, or did you have to change something, or what would you change if you were able to do this again? And I think this will be a pretty neat opportunity. I've never done the parachute design challenge before, but I think it'll be something worthwhile. And then we're going to look at our final design challenge for air transportation, which is going to be our boomerang design challenge. Now, typically in class, we would actually create a boomerang where you would draw this out on the computer, you cut it out with our laser. Unfortunately, we don't have that ability to do that now, but we still can make a paper boomerang. And so I provided resources for you for both design challenges, videos to watch and help you along the way. And so this should allow you to create a paper boomerang. I want you to record your results as well for this. Tell us how it did. Give us a brief summary. And I think this will be a great way to end our week in air transportation and honestly the unit for air transportation. So looking forward to seeing what your results, your feedback, your thoughts on air transportation failures and our design challenges through the week. And as always, if you have any questions, I'm available on Schoology. If you need to ask me or send me a message, by all means, go ahead and do so. So I'll see you all on Schoology. Have a great week.